Okay, any other audience questions? Yep, come on up.
Hello.
Hi.
My name's Isabel, and I'm a resident of 35 years. I also have 25 years of hospitality industry experience. And if, it's not really a question, more of a statement, if the inland towns are charging 11% and we're not, when we are becoming a resort town, if these hotels are coming in, that makes us a resort town. If the mermaid properties are going to be a hotel, and I'm hearing about height, and, you know, there are resort towns are now looking at their beaches and their environment when they build these hotels. There are hotels that are now called LEED hotels. LEED hotels are environmentally conscious hotels. So I would like to share this with you. When you're looking at these hotels and they're going to be resort hotels, trust me, they're going to be boutique, wonderful hotels, and no one's going to budge over 1%. And you should take a good look at that. And you should also make sure that the hotel that comes in is a LEED hotel that will be environmentally conscious to our community, and that they look at our regulations, not what they want. Because I'll tell you, the mermaid property is prime property, and they know it. We're right on the beach. We have all the cards in our hands. Thank you.
Thank you. That would be for Greg.
It was a statement, not a question.
Oh, well, you can comment on it.
I'll just be brief. Thank you for bringing it up. I think she brings up some very good points. The TOT, just so you know, it doesn't really affect the hotel. It's a pass-through. Now, they would argue that obviously if they're with the addition of that percent or whatever it would be, makes their room rates out of the range of competitiveness, excuse me, that they might have a problem. But it is a pass-through. The hotel oftentimes will say they pay that tax, and they really don't. It's a pass-through. Again, it's from the community to pay for their imprint or their footprint that they leave on our community. And John, I just have to correct you. As the Chief of Parking Enforcement for the City of Los Angeles, we have the largest fines. We have the largest fees.
I should have said in the area.
Yeah. Yes. Well, Los Angeles is in the area, and I can tell you,
I've paid those.
and I hear about that every day. I've been charged of trying to bring in $156 million to the City of Los Angeles through parking enforcement and revenue, and it is a challenge without upsetting the apple cart. But we are not overpriced. I won't say overpriced. It does have an impact, but we are not the top parking violation area in Los Angeles.
Thanks, Greg. Nanette?
Thanks, Isabel, for your comment. I think that your comment really touches a lot of issues that we care about here, both trying to be environmentally conscious, to this is an issue that will have to go to the voters, but I agree with you. I think it'll be a negligible amount. I know that I haven't been in a long time, but when I used to go to Vegas, there used to be like a small service fee, and then when I went back, I don't know how many years later, it was pretty high. And I thought about it for a second, but you know, it doesn't prevent me from going, and even that, it was a pretty large amount. Here we're talking about, like you said, a 1%. Which I think might be a negligible amount. It's something that our voters should take into consideration and decide for themselves.
Thanks, Nanette. John?
Well, we've already discussed the TOT, and I'm all in favor of the voters deciding on that. In terms of mandating what sort of hotels can come into properties, that's a subject where I'm a little more skeptical. I think that if you own the property and you are a multi-billion-dollar hotel chain, you have to conform to our existing laws. But we don't have the ability to mandate that only a certain type of hotel comes here any more than we have the ability to say only one kind of chain can come here. Those are things that they're going to come in, they're going to apply, they're going to get a CUP, but it is not the government's job to be telling landlords who they can lease to and who they can't.
Thanks, John. Jeff?
Yeah, thank you. I thought there were a couple good points that were made here, and I think we need to keep them in mind. You know, what you know, we have a new Shade Hotel in recently in Manhattan Beach, a new Shade Hotel going in Redondo Beach, and we have a new hotel potentially going in Hermosa Beach. And what is that unique offer that we're making? I'm putting this out there because I know very well that the developers are looking at that as well in terms of what that is. And I think that the good point was made in terms of if you know of another beachfront property, commercial property that's open for development in Santa Monica Bay, please let me know, because I don't believe it exists. So it is a great opportunity for us as a city and for them as developers to come up with something that's going to be uniquely Hermosa. And I think, and from my early conversations with the developers, I think that's the way they're thinking. So you know, we'll know more as we go along in terms about that. But you know, but I think it's important to know what our equities are. And clearly, you know, we have some opportunities there to create something that's quite unique.
Thanks, Jeff. Carolyn?
Well, I've stayed at LEED certified hotels, and it was an incredible experience. And actually, when you think about our city and some of our goals, it's actually fairly harmonious with what we are about. It costs more money to stay at a LEED certified hotel because it costs money to be a LEED certified hotel, but it was an amazing property, and I think that if we had something like that here, that would mesh really well with some of our goals. However, it really does come down to the rights of the property owner as to what they want to do.
Thanks, Carolyn. Haney?
Isabel, that was a great point you raised, and I think somewhere in the balance between the comments that I've mentioned here, probably to me, that would be the best approach. I think have a LEED certified hotel in our city significantly increases our brand of Hermosa Beach as a green city. But requiring somebody to require them to be a LEED hotel may be going too far. And I think what we do is what we already do in our city by providing incentives for people to get to what we'd like them to do without twisting their arm or forcing them to do it. Just like we have chargers in our city, we're not requiring people to come into Hermosa Beach to have an electric car, but if you happen to have an electric car and you come into Hermosa Beach, you can park your car and get it charged while you're attending to your errands and businesses or enjoying our city, and that gives you an incentive to come to our city. And it's the same thing for the LEED certification. If you give the developers that incentive through either some cooperation from the city or some waivers of fees or what have you, and they come in and they develop a LEED certified hotel that enhances our brand in Hermosa, then that's a win-win situation, and that would be my recommendation.
Thanks, Haney. Any other questions out there?